Welcome back to Judo Highlights. It's that time again. The top IPPONS from the World Championships. So over 7 days and hundreds of athletes, hundreds of throws. I've gone through and found the best ones. And we're starting with a Seiwi Otoshi from our new World Champion at under 66, Takioka. And I do have some nice camera angles to show you guys for a lot of these throws. So without further ado, let's get into it. Starting with Abe Hifumi, our Olympic champion. And good control to finish this throw here. Saha rolls off the other side, but Abe Hifumi, so experienced, knows what to do when people roll off the other side. Now we all saw this, Abe Hifumi getting thrown, and this is an Uchimata Skashi. But I do have another Uchimata Skashi to show you guys, just to show you the difference, because there's two ways to do it. The way Dezibov does it here, and then this other variation from Alta. This time he's going to get out of the way of the leg and really use the hands to roll his opponent over. And actually watch the leg of Alta. So he initiates the technique. It's a little bit of a mind game. You kind of feel that leg going up and think your Uchimata's working, but it really isn't. Now this one here, I mean, it's crazy that Nakano was doing this at plus 100s. Ochi, Kochi, Ochi, and into Uchimata. Absolutely incredible stuff. Now this also from Hajiev, go back and have a look again if you'd like at the grapevining he does around the leg, and Arai, he did it as well in his contest here. So the referee's kind of letting people away with grapevining on the legs these days. Very interesting. Now this is a much better also in my opinion from Hajiev. Just complete domination. This reminds me of Ono Shohei a little bit. Look at that. Now, I do love Hajiev, but this time he does get thrown. And this was probably one of my favorite throws of the tournament. A big front Uchimata from Tajima. And just because he came from behind. And then you could see Tajima kind of realized that he could win the battle in close against Hajiev. So a really good contest. And if you've got JUDOTV, definitely go back and check out that one. Now, Murao, I mean, he's got to be one of the most technical judoka on the planet right now. And this Uchimata is pretty outrageous. Just the control with the legs, really guiding Maizaradzi's leg kind of out of the way before he went in for the second attempt. Beautiful stuff. And of course this too, I mean, Tai Otoshi doesn't get better than this. And we saw a couple of them. So I do really feel that people are kind of fighting off the sleeve a lot these days, because we are kind of allowing pistol grips. And the pistol grip, even though this is not a pistol grip, but you're seeing a lot of people playing off the sleeve these days. Now this was a crazy Seoi Nage by Angst Taiwan. The fact that he was able to finish this throw is quite incredible. Amazing control all the way to the end. Beautiful Haraigoshi. And you can see as he's posting that leg in there, kind of getting a reaction from Jane. And he's kind of running away from the Uchimata, and that opened up the Haraigoshi. And if Lombardo is watching this video, this is what you got to do. Clear the Kochigari first, before you do your Uranage, because you're going to get thrown. I feel bad for Lombardo. We've seen him try an Uranage a number of times and getting countered by it. Got to clear the Kochi first. Now this was one of the massive moments of the World Championships. Scuto throwing Bukli for ippon. And this was great too. Solomonidze, I mean, just a force at under 100s. And then Suraj Desfili kind of coming up from under 90s and throwing him. Throwing the Olympic silver medalist for ippon. Nakano gets himself into a bit of a pickle here. Really don't want to be in these situations against the Georgian. These kind of belt grips and then cross grip over the top. That's their territory and they love it. Beautiful counter here. Something you see a lot of. Left versus right, people kind of fighting for position. Inside position with the leg. Now this, probably one of the greatest throws of the tournament, but the camera angle, just the change of camera angle at the worst possible moment. Really would have liked to see that in just one frame. This next one, a beautiful Uchimata from Silva. And I like this camera angle because watch your hand pop that arm off. Really important just to free up that space on that side. So taking an undergrip, popping that arm up, breaking their grip, and then going in for the Uchimata. And this is a nice one too. Big arm over the top, and Haraigoshi, those two really pair together quite well. And here's a beautiful front Uchimata from Takayev. Another one of my favorite judokas right now. Takayev, Hajiev, these guys from Azerbaijan. Just awesome judo. And one more camera angle, why not? So really common to see this front Uchimata as people go over for the big cross grip. If you've got a grip up high as well around their neck, and then taking a back grip or a belt grip. Tajima, he likes the belt grip. And here we have a similar situation, belt grip and a top grip. Not over the top though, but a nice sosai. And using the belt like that for this technique really helps just kind of wheel her over. And as I say wheel, I am thinking of Hizaguruma, but I'm going to call that a sosai today. Now this is a beautiful Uchimata. I've always wanted to do this kind of Uchimata, but I just never could. I always feel it's kind of hard to keep the sleeve as you go to the side like this. But Fazliu does it perfectly. For ippon as well. Now this was really interesting from Grigulashvili. I mean, it's dangerous to squat down like that. But as he comes up, he just kind of stands Alborak up, and then he just catches him with a sneaky little kosoto there. Really nice stuff. Now I did complain a little bit about plus 78, and this is at plus 70 for the team events, but obviously these girls much bigger than plus 78. Now, for the individuals, I mean, it was boring, but I mean, sometimes it's just really nice to see big throws like this from the big girls. This next one, a beautiful sequence, and I wouldn't be surprised if Takeoka trains this. If someone goes down and then they stand up, big hand over the back, and then kochi gake.
Could go down as surprises. Look at this hook.
Look at that. And he's probably one of the best to ever do it. Very good kochi gake from Takeoka. Huge throw from Gaba here. Seoi nage. And watch Stump. I mean, his head goes flying into the mat there. That must have really hurt. I mean, I think he tried to use his head to get out, but Gaba was in there too close, too tight. And how about this from Libertiliani? I have a feeling we'll see her as world champion again at some point. I do really want to see her versus Deguchi Krista. That's going to be a good one. Abe Uta now, with the classic kind of sticky kosoto on the outside there. And here's another one from her, this time a sode, going to the knees. And she's so explosive, so powerful under 52. They did try to send her out for the teams, but she does struggle a little bit when girls kind of bully her around and start to kind of outpower her. But at under 52, she is unstoppable. So a little kosoto, bit of work with the grips, and then I guess double lapel, it looks like, for that seoi nage. Now this here from Murao, this was just a wazari, but he does end up in kesagatame. But have a look at that hand, his left hand really pushing and then driving low into the tatami. And a lot of the Japanese, they do that kind of cross grip or chigari, but it is a really hard technique. Got to get a feel for it. Now this is classic Lombardo. Defends this Uchimata, and then on the way up, so we get that reaction by standing up and then Lombardo going down. And how about this for a big seoi nage from Kagnine? And watch the fade as he fades to the side. Little side steps, kind of bringing Wandake onto him. Ishihara now, and we know what he's going to do. These big standing seoi nages. Just a wazari, a bit of an overthrow. But to be able to go from that all-soto to that standing seoi nage is Japanese magic. This next one, really nice work with the grips. So the top grip doesn't really get it, gets broken off. And then he finds an opening to take that cross grip and go osoto, seoi otoshi. Now Augusto, this ochigari, I do have another camera angle after this one. But he does really well to just kind of hang on to that leg and just keep controlling it. Look at that. Goes inside and then outside, and he follows it. Inside, outside, stays with it the whole way. Really nice ochigari. And here is our new world champion at under 60. And he's always had a beautiful seoi nage. It's been so long ago that I just kind of forgot Nagayama is our world champion at under 60. World Championships, 7 days long, and then the team event. Such a long event. Now this is called the helicopter. Actually, it might be the spatula. I can't remember. The Germans have a bunch of names for it. I'm not sure if it actually has an official name. I guess maybe a variation of kataguruma. But anyway. Now this is a nice counter to ochigari. I mean, Igonikov, he was trying to turn it into an Uchimata. Just didn't have the grips. Maizaradzi with the counter. And you do have to be careful going in for an ochigari. This is always a possibility. Now here is the big man. Kotsuev, and his surigoshi is quite amazing. Here comes the big hip. And a little bit of leg. But I'm going to say surigoshi just because he goes for it so often. Now Balandi. And the double sleeve kind of osoto that everyone loves to do these days. And of course Balandi, she is the only person who has one of those gold back patches on and went home with a world championship gold medal. So a lot of people tried, but they were all eliminated at some point. I think the second best person to do it was this man here, Abe Hifumi. And he went home with a bronze medal, so very difficult thing to do. Win an Olympic gold medal and then come to the World Championships the following year and take gold. This was just a wazari, but I wanted to include it. It's one way to counter the osotogari, a big pickup. But you would say this is osotogaishi. Well done by Chopanov. Although he did get eliminated here. And this was for bridging. He probably should have just kind of maybe rolled with it somehow. Might have got a wazari out of it. Now some people on Japanese Twitter were calling this the Tanaka roll. And it's from Tanaka, who is also in the same team as Omori at JR. And she has a bit of a wrestling background apparently. So I'm definitely going to put this one in the Judo Wiki. It's a bit rare. And I'm still building that out slowly. Techniques getting added to it all the time. This technique here you don't see a lot in the women's divisions. Big obitori gaishi with quite a bit of lift. And those grips, that's like the perfect grip for obitori gaishi. That kind of deep grip on the shoulder and the belt. Now this was just a wazari, but I thought it was a really nice kataguruma from Kaya. Not your classical kind of dive in deep around the knee. Really using a lot of whip just in front of his opponent there. Now this one, I think it's an ukigoshi, but I do just really like the grips. What Imomali's doing with the grips here. Getting everything nice and tight before switching hips. Really nice technique there. A bit of an awkward situation here. But Blue, he does manage to find a kosoto. And Demirel, I think he was looking for some sort of pickup. And kosoto, it is a really good technique to kind of destroy those pickups. Although it can go the other way around. Nice driving osoto here. And at plus 100s. That is a lot of weight. And here's another beautiful osotogari. I guess it kind of turns into a haraigoshi a little bit. But have a look at that. Tatalashvili, a beautiful technique that is. Now, this is a kataguruma by Lee. Cass does try to counter it, but I mean, once this happens, once you get into that position, it's just, you can't do anything about it. Arbuzov, our new world champion. And he had a lot of dominant performances, as you can see by the scoreboard. This is the third throw from him in this contest. And still 2 minutes and 40 seconds on the clock. And this was the winning throw. How he countered Grigolashvili here. Goes on the outside. And is that another Ukigoshi? Or just Tewaza? And Grigolashvili again featuring quite a lot in this video. Such a technician. I mean, a lot of people talk about Georgian's strength, but he's got some of the best technique in the game. This is a nice Uchimata here. And a lot of people doing this these days, having that sleeve grip really in tight, near the belt. See him here, it's just basically locked to his hips. And speaking of Uchimata, I mean, Silva, she was on fire. And I think this was the Uchimata I showed earlier with the sleeve break. And yes, here it is. So Silva finding some form. I really want to know how old she is. I feel like she's been doing it forever. Now this is kind of interesting because Lee, he does a kochigari, but it's an opposite side. And you see him there just kind of kicking the lapel side. But more than a kochigari, just good control with his hands and the top half. Now this is Tojiev, and he took out Nagase. Didn't throw him. Won by Shiro, but here's a nice throw by him against Tatalashvili. And really using the gi to just feed himself in there for the throw. And now this was just a wazari from Ishihara with the kind of skipping seoinage. Don't see that a lot. Really is quite interesting. And he did it twice. So have a look at that. That is a really interesting way to enter in for the seoinage. Skip and turn. Really just feeds himself in there. It's quite nice. And just 2 ippons to go, guys, but I probably should have put this one earlier on in the video. Lee throwing Tushishvili and really gets him kind of moving. Started off with a really nice piece of ashiwaza, and then he gets him with the nashiguruma. So that's it, guys. We're going to end with this Ochigari from Bakauri. And I hope you enjoyed the top ippons from the World Championships. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.